fall. Yes. They have a beige book, a Federal Reserve Summary of Commentary on Current Economic Conditions. Yes. By the Federal Reserve District. The publication summarizes the economic condition in each of the 12 Federal Reserve Bank regions. Yes. You have 12 different bank regions. Yes. And 40% of the monetary supply, the actual currency of the nation, goes through the New York Federal Reserve. Yeah. Why don't you just get me that beige book and all of those PhDs that are researching and putting together the necessary commentary on the current economic conditions of the Federal Reserve districts. Now, let's say you're sitting there. You're raising interest rates. The market's going down. It pops up 1,000 points in one day, the largest point gain ever recorded. Yes, it sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But 5% on the Dow is really not that greatest of percentages, is it? You know how the media can kind of twist the statistics when the market's at 23,000 and 10 years ago it was at 11,000? Yes, yes, yes. Why don't we look at the actual economic conditions of the United States of America? Call the Federal Reserve and mention to them that I'm a little upset that they haven't been doing what they said. Now, I know Janet Yellen, she's retired, and Ben Bernanke doesn't have a whole lot to do. Yes. But as senior citizens that have recently retired, I just wanted to know all of those, yes, over the age of 59 and a half, yeah, no longer employed. You started tapping your IRAs, did you, Janet? Now, let's say you're sitting at home and you're looking at your 401k that you had while employed before you were. Do you get much benefits being the Federal Reserve Chairman of the United States? Because if I could get the tax deferred accounts of every employee that thought, I'm going to tax defer some of my earnings while being an employee of any of the 12 Federal Reserve banks, so that when I retire and I become a member of the AARP, I'm going to go on Medicare and buy myself one of these Medicare supplement plans, and I'll have a nice retirement. Good for you. Now, you would think the Federal Reserve Chairman, oh, look at the maestro himself. He's still working on trying to spend down, over 70 and a half, as I remember it. Yes, there's what's called the mandatory required distributions. Yes, you didn't convert your IRAs while being the chairman of the Federal Reserve to a Roth IRA where you had 5 years to pay the taxation of that. You've been getting tax-free distributions from your Roth IRA there, Alan Greenspan? I know you're sitting at home in your favorite apartment in New York thinking, oh, my tax deferred account is suffering a little bit, and as the former chairman of the Federal Reserve Board, I'm concerned, yes, that when they introduced the Roth IRA and they allowed for you to convert your tax deferred account so that you would pay all the taxation up front during the first 5 years of conversion, yes, yes, that you, as a Federal Reserve Chairman at that time, really thought this is a good deal for me. Why don't we go through the mandatory required distributions of all of those over the age of 70 and a half that before that 1,000 point pop, they were really concerned they were going to run out of money before they die. Having been a financial consultant, I understand the fears of those that are senior citizens. The thought is I'm gonna lose the actual value of my tax deferred account. Yes. I'm gonna die before I've actually used up all the money. Or no, after I've used all the money up, I'm gonna die. Yes, penniless, broke. And as a federal judge, Janet Yellen, exactly how much do you have in tax deferred accounts, and what have you been investing in? You went tax deferred? Yes. I was kind of reading this art magazine. They have some really good articles in this. Does anybody know what AARP stands for? Yeah. Something retired persons. Yes. It's an acronym oftentimes used among those that are over the age of 65. Yeah. You started getting your Social Security, did you, Janet? Do you get?